And just like that, we are wrapping up the real estate show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group. That's at Keller Williams Realty, Boise. And I guess, are we getting, I don't know if we call it Nostradamus or we want to look into 2013, but some of your predictions, are you going to predict who's going to win the World Series, who's going to be the Super Bowl winner, or maybe what's going to go on with Holmes? Chris, it's your choice.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, no, we just started talking about predictions. But I look at, I try to look down the road, try to look, 4, 6, 8 months down the road. Everyone knows we've seen this 12, 14, 16% market correction over the last year, which is fantastic. I call it market correction just due to the fact that I believe it was so low that it was a matter of time that all those houses that were distressed or bank owned got chewed up, which they did in 2010. We've had a great, 2010, 2011. We've had a great year in 2012. Was seeing that push up in price, which is fantastic, into the 160,000 range, up from 140 in Ada County. But we're going to start seeing that 4 to 6% appreciation, I think, this year. My personal opinion is I don't think that the election has anything to do with real estate for the most part. I don't think it does. We talked a little bit about that 3.8% tax and what the truth was there. But, there's so many people and so much good news about Boise that, when I talk to people out there and they discuss where people always ask me, so where are people coming from? And, they are moving in and around Boise, but for the most part, we're seeing a lot of people move in here, and it's an attractive place. We're getting ranked nationally by huge publications. And so I see it. I'm looking forward to a really good year and really good solid returns on real estate.
Chris, let's remind folks, I know Annette went right to the website today during the show and posted the information. So if you want to look at it and read at it or look at the video, chrislofthus.com. But share again, in case you missed it earlier, the 3.8% Medicare tax on home sales. What is the truth? And that begins in 2013. Obviously, the knee jerk and what you hear, so now I'm going to lose another 4%, but that's not really the case.
Yeah, well, everyone tried to they tried to spin it out of control to where it was based on the actual sales price. So the rumors and the emails that were out there were basically, if you sold your house for $300,000 on top of all the other fees, you're going to have another 3.8% sales tax if you sell your house after January 1st, and that's just not the case. It's based on the gains. We always talk about the 250 as a single filer or the 500. But the fact of the matter is, National Association of Realtors has come out and they've dug into it and they saw exactly what it is. And really, it's going to affect about 2 to 3%. And I think even less than that here. I think when you start getting in these upper range markets, California, Seattle, towards the ocean, that kind of stuff, you'll start seeing Jackson Hole possibly, where you can see those huge increases in price.
Would that be something we'd reach out to, say, Van Carlson at Concierge Legacy to say, hey, we want, tell us exactly how this all fits?
Sure. And that's exactly why we talk about all the time having guys on here. And everyone's on the website. You can go onto our preferred vendors list. Randy will be on there. We'll have a link back to his website as well. And so when you want to go on there and you want to get good quality people and good quality advice, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, but if you want to go on there, or if you need something and there's not the specific vendor on that list, like Randy as a home inspector being on there, just call us. We have an array of people that we work with.
Okay, but you are one of the best, if not real estate, I call you guys, but real estate agents, however you want to call it, in the West. So let's talk about what you do best. Tell us about some of the premier listings you've got out there.
Yeah, we have two. We have we obviously have the Parade Home 1425 Shearson in the Shores and Two Rivers, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, single level. It's our Parade Home, 3,600 square feet. Fantastic Flaherty homes. John Flaherty did a fantastic job on that house. We also have a couple new listings in Banbury Meadows, 635 Colchester. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3,100 square feet. We got that on at $429. Sits right on the water. It's got great views of the golf course there. And then we also have another one over on WIF, 1605 WIF, on at $499,000. That's 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,300 square feet on the golf course.
You know what a Canadian calls his significant other?
What's that?
His whiff. I just couldn't resist. I had to, lighten the show up a little. And I can't say it enough. Go out and look at that parade home on Shearson out there in Two River. There's kind of a cool thing. My kids got a kick out of it. There's a little beach out there.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, just the little things that you wouldn't think of. I mean, stuff I liked, I called it lockers. I know that's not the proper name, but in one of the entryways, the reason it looked like lockers to me was the kids could put all their stuff in there, and it's great big, and the ceiling and just all the stuff that goes with it. But just those little things, let alone the classic bathroom and the king-size bedroom, all that stuff.
Well, and it kind of goes back to this whole parade homes and what John Flaherty did out there. That's different. I mean, that is a meticulous custom build job that he hand-walked everything through. You can't see some of the issues there on what's going on there. But, like, Randy, you can attest here, too. When you're buying a Corey Barton home, a Hubble home, or any of these other homes, these larger home builders, it's inspections. You still need to inspect them, and that's the one thing I keep telling people all the time when we discuss just in general whether you're buying from anybody. Even we talk about John Flaherty homes, you should get it inspected. We don't know if there's some issues. There could have been a roofing issue, and do you see that as well with new construction? Don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think at the break we were chatting off air, but yeah, some of the new builders will pay for the contractors, like I said, to install installation. The builder does everything right, and the contractor doesn't show up, and then they put the ceiling up, and nobody knows there's no installation up there. So those are things that we'll find. Yeah.
Well, it does happen, and it's nothing against any of these builders, but it does happen, especially with high volume builders as well. But for the most part, when we talk about Randy and inspecting, and to go back to it, it's one of those deals. I don't want people to think of it as, I'm going to have someone come in and basically tear my house apart and open up walls and everything like that. It's not evasive. Randy, what do you say? Typical inspection? How long do you think it takes?
2 to 3 hours typically. Yep.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours, and basically what he's looking for water intrusion. He's looking at your outlets and checking your furnace and everything like that. And so overall, I mean, it's a fantastic thing. I think it's a fantastic tool for us, Dave.
And again, you reach out to Randy at 914-5793, 914-5793. And Chris, it was kind of cool at your parade home to look on the wall, and there was the information about the secret list.
Right, yeah.
But Annette and Jerry said I couldn't look at it because it was a secret.
We get a lot of people sign up, but a lot of people ask about it, and what it basically is, it's a list of homes that people have they need to sell. They want to sell their house, but they don't want to list it. They don't want to have showings. They might have young kids. They don't want to sign in their yard, but they do call us and they say, Chris, if you can find the right fit, we will sell it. And we had such a good reception to that during the parade of homes. Put us on the secret list. We want to know what's out there. And I think for the most part, and Randy can say this too, is you look at the amount of inventory. When there's 2,200 homes, and let's just say the Chris Lofthus group, we have an additional 10, 15 homes that we know about that people want to sell. And that's a pretty key thing to have when you're starting to look for a house and you can't find a house and you're saying, well, I'm in Meridian or I'm in North Boise and we can't find it. We might have that product for you.
Well, in the show right before ours, when I'm on with Jim Stevens, the Sandler Sales Show, we just had one of our clients move in from Detroit. And I recommended, I said, this might be perfect for you, because he started describing exactly what he wanted. And I said, reach out to Chris Lofthus on the secret list, because that would be a case where he'd be able to look at it, say, yeah, we're good to go. And then you said you're not opposed to knocking on someone's door either, right?
Yeah, you talk about Jerry Kelly, who's one of our client specialists. We do it all the time. You start talking about, someone says, hey, I want this. I want something very specific. We can go pull the tax records. And for example, a prime example right now, single-level houses are very in high demand right now for single-level houses. Houses with 5 bedrooms in high demand. So if you need that, we can pull the tax records, find out specifically what you want. We'll go knock on the door, and you'd be surprised how many people want to sell.
All right, very good, Chris. An excellent show. Randy, thanks so much for being with us. Remember, it's homeinspectorboise.com. Hey, search Chris Lofthus and click the like us on Facebook. And again, Annette has all the shows, the YouTube channel, the Chris Lofthus YouTube channel, chrislofthus.com. And as always, you can get a hold of the crew at 350-6228. Chris, thanks again, and have a great weekend. You've been listening to The Real Estate Show featuring Chris Lofthus of the Chris Lofthus Group at Keller Williams Realty, Boise. Have a great afternoon, everyone.